Hey everyone, this is Sadie, your local Google photographer for the Seattle, Western Washington area. I'm going to show you really quickly how to get the HTML code for your Google tour so you can embed it in your own website. And I'm going to show you how to resize the tour so that when you do embed it in your website, it's the size that you're looking for. First, we're going to go ahead and find a tour to use. And here we have, before we even go to their page, right there's their tour for Java and Clay Cafe. And they have a cafe in the front and a pottery painting studio in the back. So we're going to try and show off a very specific area of what they have. And we're going to go to the exact point we want the tour to start. So what this is that we're looking for is when we embed the tour on your website, we're going to choose literally the exact frame that people foresee when they go to your website and the tour loads. So in the back of Java and Clay, they have a private party room, which is pretty awesome, and of course they love to show off. So let's say we want to start the tour in this private party room. We're going to find just the right frame that shows off the whole room really well, and I think we've got it right here. So now that we've got the frame for the perfect starting point for our tour, quick reminder, the tours, it's always the whole tour. So we can go from where we are right here straight out to the front door. All you're choosing is the starting point, so that if you wanted to start the tour on one page of your website that highlighted, say, the cafe, you could grab the part of the tour that starts in the cafe and embed that on the cafe page, and then you wanted to embed the tour again on the part of your website that has private party room. When people click there, they would see this part of the tour load up. So every time you embed the tour, you get to choose exactly where it starts, which is really great to be able to use the tour multiple times on your website and direct people to exactly which part of the tour is going to be relevant for the page they're looking at. So now that we've got our frame, we're going to click on this button here on the left. It looks like a little chain link. And you click on it and it gives you two options. One is a URL code. If you wanted to send somebody a link to the tour and you wanted them to click on that link and start at the point of the tour that you've chosen, you would go to that tour, get to that point you want, and grab the link then. But we want them to go straight into the website. So right below that link it says paste HTML to embed in website. So we want to click that HTML code, make sure it's highlighted, and copy it. So now that we have our code, we're going to go ahead and look at the code. This is that exact code we just grabbed, and most of it definitely looks like nonsense to me, but right here at the beginning there is something we can actually use, and it is right here, width and height. So if you just grabbed that tour right from Google and here's your code and you pasted it into your website without changing anything in the code, it's set to be 425 pixels high, or 425 pixels wide by 350 pixels high, which doesn't directly translate to a size for me, so I went ahead and made a little blue box. And so if you didn't change your code at all and embedded it straight into your website, it would be the size of this little blue box. And to me, that's not really a great size to show off these tours. It's pretty small, especially for something that's interactive. So what we can do is we can go up onto our code and change these numbers. So instead of 425 pixels wide, let's go to 800 pixels wide. And instead of 350 pixels high, let's go to 400 pixels high. So now we've got the code. Nothing has been changed but the width and the height numbers. And we can recopy it and try pasting it into our website now and seeing what we come up with. And what we come up with is going to be the size of this green square here, which looks a heck of a lot better. Now say neither of these sizes were right for you. You can go back to this code and change these two numbers, the width and the height, as many times as you want. Just trial and error to get the exact size you want. So you can do this every time you embed your tour. You've chosen your starting point, you've gotten your code. Now you can change your width and your height of the frame so that when people are on your website, they can choose the exact look at the tour the size you want. There's my information right there, so if you have questions about your tour or your photos, don't forget you can always contact me. Really quick before we go, I want to show you what we ended up with, what they ended up with, I should say. So here's Java and Clay's website, and right there is Pottery Studio. And so they've chosen to have their tour start right at the back, looking forward, so you can see the whole studio laid out in front of you. And this is the size they've chosen, and I gotta say it looks great. So you can choose exactly where you want your tour to start. You can choose the size you want your tour to embed at, and based on your website service, you can choose where you want your tour to embed. And right here on your website, people can go into the private party room, they can walk through the studio, they can go wherever you want them to go, and you get to choose what the first thing they see is. One other thing to think about with your tours is that what you're watching right now, a video made with voiceover, is another great thing to do with your tour. You can give people basically guided tours right on your website where they can play a video, and you can walk through the tour and say, this is our private party room. Right here you're looking at our pottery studio, and this is what we offer, as you're showing them the tour. So there's lots of different ways you can use your tour. You can embed it so that people can interactively use it. You can make a video out of it so that you're guiding them on a tour. And of course, it's always going to be on your Google page and connected to Street View. Again, if you have any questions, you can send me an email, give me a call, and I will help any way I can with your photos and your tours. Thanks so much.